Welcome to Barcelona. It's the quickest intro I'm going to do because I don't have any time whatsoever. I was up at 3:45 this morning, took a flight here, got the transport into the city. I've got friends waiting for me down the stairs once they arrive. I'm just going to put myself into the hostel, dropped off all my valuables and stuff like that. It's Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid tonight. Simple as that. It's two of the four title contenders for this year. It's a game where there's a lot riding on it for me emotionally. I've not got a lot of like for Barca, however they always seem to beat us, especially when they're going through a crisis. So we'll just need to wait and see how tonight goes. I mean, I'm relatively hopeful. It should be a great atmosphere anyway. I've never been to Barcelona's stadium during a game before, and of course this isn't even going to be the Camp Nou. This is going to be the Olympic Stadium that they're using in the meantime, so that'll be like a new experience and something different. But yeah, I've got some friends coming over, some fellow Indios, and again that's how I've got the ticket. It's through the Peña. My application with the club for an away-in ticket was refused, so I was stuck with nothing, and the Peña pulled through and managed to find me a ticket in amongst the Barca fans and the players' families and stuff like that inside the stadium. To give some quick talking points about the game, I hope someone can explain this to me. João Felix is going to play. I thought it was a universal thing that loan players couldn't play for their parent club, but apparently that's more a UK thing, or Atletico decided to waive the issue or something, I don't know, but he's going to be playing tonight. I mean, I backed this guy to the hills, like even when he was going through his tantrums and having the fallouts with coaches, etc. I was always like, give him time, he's a bit temperamental, but there's class there, and there's a huge amount of talent with him. So I always kind of was backing him, even if it wasn't the popular thing amongst Atleti fans. So for him to then go to Barca and just kind of handle it the way he's handled it, it felt like an absolute stab in the back for me. So last thing I want is for him to score tonight.
My girlfriend's sick.
Your girlfriend's sick also? No way! No! Bueno, ahora se debe cierre el claro. Pero acá se debe joder. Se debe la
Los que buscan el fútbol de emoción, los que luchan como hermanos, defendieron sus colores. Atleti, Atleti, Atlético de Madrid. Atleti, Atleti, Atlético de Madrid. Jugando, ganando, peleas como el mejor, porque siempre la misión es de con pasión. Cuando quieras entre todos campeón, y
se ve que está un equipo de verdad que esta tabla de fútbol de verdad.
Cataluña es España. Una gitana loca que no la
Yo quiero allá.
Literally the worst possible thing that could have happened is what happened. I hate that guy, and folk might think differently, but I think if you're an Atletico fan, you hate that guy. But they're 1-0 up, which is what they do, so fuck. Yeah, what can I do except sit there and hope that we turn it around, basically. I mean, this could be a really long night for me. I'm sat amongst Barca fans. I've got my friend with me, but you know, two amongst many. And our arch enemies went and scored a goal, so yeah, I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. Christ, an eventful end to the half for personal reasons. Some bald Stone Island wearing Spaniards started shouting stuff. I mean, I don't understand it, I don't speak enough Spanish yet, but my friends certainly took offence, so there was some confrontation and whatever. But anyway, I mean, nothing's happening. Like, I really wish I could give you some sort of report. It's probably on paper the biggest game I've ever been to, certainly the biggest game I've ever recorded, and there's nothing happening. Like, okay, if I'm trying to put a professional head on, I'd say Barca could well be in front. They've had more attacks, but I can't think of an Atletico shot on goal. So yeah, you've probably got to give Barca a deserved lead. Saying that, they've not done a lot in my eyes. A few half chances, they've come near the box often, a few crosses kicked in. The thing is, I don't think Barca are playing great. I generally just think Atletico are playing terribly, and it's always the case
when you've got an affiliation to one of the team, you tend to blame your own team rather than praise the other, but that's how I feel. I don't feel Atletico started playing at all. I think this game is screaming for Samuel Lino. I love Riquelme, I really do. I think he's an amazing player and I think he's great for some games. This is screaming out for Samuel Lino, it absolutely is, and I think it's no surprise that Carrasco was one of our best players in this fixture as the years have went by. He's now gone. Now, who's more similar to Carrasco, Lino or Riquelme? Lino, 100%. So I don't think that's a coincidence, and to be honest, I don't know Lino's physical state, but Simeone, I don't know, I would have started him, simple as that. I would have started him. Koundé's not in great form, the Barca right back, and I think Lino with his directness and his pace could have ran rings around him already this half. Hopefully he comes on and might do just that, I don't know, only time will tell. I think unfortunately I have come here with too high expectations, both in terms of the atmosphere and in terms of what Atleti can actually get from it. I mean, people are talking about Barca winless in 3, people were talking about Xavi under pressure, which is always over the top because in the end he won a league 6 months ago, so you can't be that under that much pressure. But that's what the papers were talking about, and we were doing our thing, and yeah, I came in with decent expectations we may be able to do something.
Claro que sí, corre. Never. Corre, si una más larga, coño, que este corre mucho. Por favor, siempre ese participo. Need the mobile. Ah, siamo. Non puoi? Non c'è. Foul. Tipo, he's not been on it today, man. He's not. We don't have nothing to lose, like fuck no. The bike. There we go. This is different. It's probably even better than the GoPro.
I'm having to record a kind of final bit because I did one in the stadium, but emotions were running high, and I didn't like it. That's the thing with Atletico. Like, for me, I've got that with Atletico, which I don't have with like my Scottish team that I support. With my Scottish team, I tend to be more reasonable and think of things logically, whereas with Atletico, it's just all emotion. And I was just like very defeated, to be honest. It'd been such a long day. I'd been up at 4:45 that morning, and I mean, obviously it's like an hour ahead and whatever, but the game didn't kick off till 9. It was late by the time it finished, and I think I'd went in expecting a lot, and I just felt pretty damn disappointed, to be honest, of the result, of how the game went. A little bit of the Barca atmosphere as well. I mean, it's not their home ground. I'm trying to think of excuses on their behalf. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. So yeah, I think I just reflected in like the kind of end thing I did for the match. So I'm here to do that now, basically. I've not actually watched the match highlights yet, which I usually do, because when you're sitting there in the stadium, you've obviously got your bias and you're in the moment and you're emotional, as I've been saying. So I'm just going off memory here, but to conclude, it's fair enough, wasn't it? Yeah, Barca definitely did enough for the win. Now that I kind of look back on it and I've looked through some of the clips and stuff and I've been editing, yeah, they totally did. They didn't play to the best of their ability, but they didn't have an opposition to challenge them enough to even push them that far. Yeah, they created better chances. More importantly, they took their chance. I think for Atletico, to just talk about our goal scoring opportunities, we had the free kick, which prompted a really good save from Iñaki Peña, who, it goes to show you want young players not to just sit on the bench, because this guy looks like a Champions League goalkeeper already, just in the few games he's been playing since Ter Stegen's been injured. He's a top class goalkeeper already. So he pulled off a great save for the free kick. Probably a little bit before now in the video, there was a point where Memphis Depay got the ball, and it's not a direct one-on-one, but he's like running through onto goal. There's a defender near him, but he's running through onto goal, and I get all high-pitched, as I do when I get excited at football games, and I'm expecting him just to lash the thing. Just before he got injured, I don't even remember the opposition. He scored from like 30 yards, 35 yards, like an absolute bullet. This guy can hit a ball. Like, he's one of the strongest shooters in the team, and it just didn't hit the flipping thing. I can't still quite gather why he didn't just whack it across goal. He tried to play a pass to Lino, which just wasn't on. Like, Lino's under all sorts of pressure. I don't even think Lino gets a touch on it from the cutback, but I'm just like, hit the flipping thing. And I don't quite remember these chances as well, but I've seen a few photos on Instagram of like the angle from Angel Correa where he gets it, and you're like, yeah, why didn't he shoot either? So you're starting to think, not only was the intensity so bad in the first half, but when we did get the ball in good positions, which that's the thing with Barca, you will get chances against this Barcelona team because they're not as good as they used to be, and they're not as defensively solid as they were last year. So you are going to get your chances, and you've just got to raise the consideration, which is, mentally, did we just, for want of a better word, shit the bed? Which I feel we did. I feel that's exactly what happened. I think we went on a Sunday night, pretty cold for Spanish standards, and yeah, we just failed to show up, really. Which, if I am making that conclusion, then there's nothing to argue about. And in reality, Barca probably could have scored by more than one if it wasn't for the efforts of Marcos Llorente, who was probably Atletico's best player. Llorente's been, his role this year has been coming off the bench on the right hand side and doing kind of similar to what Federico Valverde does for Real, which is covering a huge amount of space on the right hand side, together with Molina if he's there as well. But whether Molina's there or not, Llorente, just with his stamina and his pace, manages to just cover huge amounts of space, and you can always rely on him to make the runs in, like, offensively or defensively, which is what he did at the end. Barca got a counter attack on, and Llorente fucking legged it the length of the pitch and got back enough to make a challenge which is like on the verge of being a penalty. It wasn't a penalty, don't get me wrong, but like just it was last ditch. So yeah, Llorente gets pass marks. It turned out not to be the right game for Riquelme. He just didn't get too involved. It wasn't bad, but it was a Samuel Lino game. And I don't actually know if I've even added this into the final edit or not, but for me, I wanted Samuel Lino to start this match. I think the qualities he's got suited this game better. And I can't even remember who started for Barca, but I was just like, before the match, I was looking through it, it's like, oh, Jules Koundé's not in great form. He's kind of been right back for Barca a few times, but this season especially, he's just looking leggy. And Lino's absolutely rapid and direct and likes to knock the ball past the opponent and run onto it. And I just thought, man, Koundé would struggle with that at the moment. But I mean, Lino did end up playing and made a bit of an impact, but not enough. And as for the rest of it, you've really just got to judge it as a team and just say it wasn't good enough, unfortunately, on all levels. The defence wasn't quite as strong as you'd want it to be. All Black did fine, to be fair. Picked up a few balls in the air. He's got a tendency to punch it. He caught a few this time, so that was, you know, better, but we're really kind of stretching to find things. Molina, never got as high up the pitch as you'd want him to, and neither did Riquelme. The midfield didn't control the ball as much as you'd want them to. Griezmann and Morata didn't really link up. I think Griezmann had a few nice touches in the first half, but just, again, didn't see enough from anybody at all. But yeah, I mean, I could talk about the game and the football side of it until it gets dark, but it's still an amazing experience. Like, the march to the stadium especially, like walking with Atletico fans and just singing, having some beers, you know, laughs with the police that are walking us along and stuff like that. It's fun, it's a bit intense. You know, when you meet up with the Barca fans when they were there, they've lobbed a few stuff down and whatever, and it's great fun. I love it, I can't lie. And you just meet people like Jorge was the guy I was sitting next to. He's in the Pena, but he lives in Barcelona, so I'd not met him before. You know, chat to him, his girlfriend's Czech, same as mine, so, you know, we have a laugh about that, and you just meet people through it and make friends through the whole thing. I had a spare ticket for the game and I got to give it to someone, and it's like, that's fun, you know, that's a great thing to do. You get to make someone's day, and it's just a great thing to do. So yeah, I've totally lost the light, so I need to finish up, and I'll probably finish up the same as last video by saying thank you again to the Pena, to Jaime, who does such an amazing job running it, the rest of the kind of board crew, everyone that shows up regularly at the Polworth, because it's thanks to all that effort with Jaime keeping in contact with the club, keeping in contact with other groups and advertising us, that's the only reason I had these tickets. And one of Jaime's key ways of advertising is through regular attendances at the Polworth, which you know, the guys that I go there with help do so. It's something we can post every week, it's something we can show off, and it's a way we show the club that we're actively supporting, even from a totally other country. Yeah, so for all those guys, massive thank you. I hope you enjoyed this, a bit more of a talk at the end than I usually do. And I plan on getting to the Metropolitano. Oh my god, I've still not been to a home game yet. So I'm going to try and get to the Metropolitano as my next Atleti game, maybe January, something like that. So thanks for watching, and thanks again to Indios de Caledonia.